Alistair, how are you doing
Nice
today?
to meet you. I'm doing well, thank you.
Yeah, nice to meet you too. Thank you. Thank you for accepting my request.
My pleasure. My
Yeah,
pleasure.
that's great. Okay, so could I just ask you to just tell me about yourself?
Yeah, of course. Of course. I'm 29 as of recently. It was my birthday in December. So I'm trying to remember my age all the time now.
Oh, happy birthday. Has it finished or is it coming up?
It's finished. It's
Oh, it's
finished.
finished because we're almost at the end of December, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. But yeah, so I'm originally from England. My mum is English and my dad is French. Um,
Yeah.
I have French cousins. I lived in England my whole life, but when I was 25, I was feeling a little bit lost, and I decided to go on a trip to Southeast Asia,
Okay.
uh, Thailand actually, which I hear is where you're based now.
Yes.
And yeah, I had the trip of a lifetime, and it was actually the thing that got me into online teaching as well.
Okay.
But ever since then, I've been living out in Asia. I'm now in Bali. I've been here for 2 years.
Right.
So yeah, up until a few years ago, I'd spent my whole life in England, but now I'm pretty much full time out in Southeast Asia.
Okay, that's amazing. So when you left, did you plan that it was going to be a long-term thing, or was it just like, did you think you'd just stay for a couple of years and go back home?
So when I first went to Thailand,
Yeah.
I booked like a one-way ticket with enough money for about 3, 4 weeks. And I didn't know, I knew that I was open to the idea of staying for longer.
Right.
I didn't know that I would stay for 6 months in the end. So I was just very curious about a different lifestyle and trying to find myself at that time.
Yeah.
So I don't know, it started as a one-way trip and then the rest was history.
Yeah. Oh, that's amazing. And do you feel like content now, like with the way things have turned out? Do you feel like you made the right choice?
I think so, yeah. Like compared to living in the UK, it's a lot easier to be happy, and there's just a sense of freedom out here, which I think is not really there back in England.
Right.
And it's very good weather, so I can't complain.
That's great. Yeah. So just like a little bit about me. So I'm Neetu, and I'm also a Cambly tutor. I've been on Cambly for 3 years, just over 3 years. And yeah, so I grew up in Hertfordshire, just outside London, and I did all my education there, and then I moved to Thailand 14 years ago. So I've been here with my family since then. And yeah, I mean, I feel the same really. When I go back to England, I feel like I love to visit family and friends, but I don't know, living there is different. And I think when you move away, you change a bit as well, don't you? I think like you kind of have different perceptions of life, and you just feel like, I don't know. So I just wondered why you chose Thailand in particular. What was it that drew you to Thailand?
I think I knew that I wanted to switch things up and do some traveling, but I didn't want to just travel around Europe because I was so used to Europe, because living in England, it's really easy to go to France or Spain or wherever. So my initial reason for Thailand was because I saw that a lot of people were doing that travel, and it seemed like the kind of, I don't know, like the usual travel route that people do that is meant to be very fun and, like very interesting. So that was what, I didn't want to do something like South America. I thought that would be a bit too much and maybe too expensive, but Thailand was like a good kind of adventurous idea that was outside of what I'm used to, was a bit of like a culture shock.
Yeah.
So that was why I made the decision. And when I got to Thailand, as I'm you feel too. It was just like the best country on so many levels. Like from a pure enjoyment perspective, like it was a very adventurous place. There was a lot of people to interact with, whether that be local people or tourists. Everyone's very friendly. Everyone seems like they're all on the same kind of energy,
Yeah.
there to enjoy and have a good life, which is very different for me compared to like the boring UK.
Right. Yeah, I see. Wow. So did you travel out with friends for the first time, or did you go by yourself?
No, I went solo, so it was a big it was an important point for me to go on my own and kind of explore myself a little bit. And I think, kind of like you said, now when I go back to the UK, I feel tied to the UK because I have family and old friends, and I am there the way I used to be. But when I'm out in Southeast Asia, I feel like I'm a more evolved version of myself, because it was the version that I left at the door in England, and I went on to this new adventure. And
Okay, that's a great way to put it. Yeah, exactly. So, and I say, in terms of like so you were in Thailand. Were you in Bangkok or a different part?
I traveled all around. I started in Bangkok, but
Okay.
I ended up spending a lot of time in Koh Phangan. I got stuck on that island when I ran out of money, so I ended up staying there for like 3 months.
Oh, I haven't been there. Yeah. So, like for people who haven't been, how would you like describe the island? What would you say it's like?
It's a very crazy party place. It's where they host the full moon party in Thailand, where every full moon, every month, they have like thousands of people on the beach, and they have these big parties with lots of different music. And it gets very empty for most of the month. And then around that period of time when they have the big party, everyone floods into the island, and you get all of the travelers all at once. So yeah, it's a very unique kind of place, I'd say.
Yeah, exactly. And I just think like in Thailand, life is really laid back, isn't it? Like people just don't seem rushed. Like in England, it's just like a slower pace. And yeah, I mean, of course, there's like the corporate side of it where people are like busy in their jobs and things. Maybe it was because we don't see that side of life, but it just seems like, people have a really like laid back attitude, which is great. And then from Thailand, how did you, so now you're in Bali, yeah? Is that right?
Now I'm in Bali, yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah. So how come you left Thailand and went to Bali? Was that always on the cards?
So my sister moved to Bali with her boyfriend around the time that I was in Thailand.
Yeah.
And she's always been saying to me that I should come out there, and I never really got the chance to while I was still in Thailand.
Right.
And I think when I moved back to England, I was living with my parents again, and it was just a little bit depressing. It was a little bit boring, and compared to the life I lived in Thailand, there was just a big difference.
Right.
So I stayed in the UK for about a year, but my sister kept telling me, it'd be so good for you to come out here and live in Bali with us. So I was very lucky. My family booked a holiday to Bali so that we could all go see my sister.
Okay.
But that is my excuse to have a free ticket to go to Bali, and I just asked my parents to do it as like a one-way ticket for me. And then after the month of the holiday had finished, I was going to try and find a new place in Bali, but my sister and her boyfriend, they said to me, should we just live in this house together in the holiday home that we were renting with my family? Yeah, we just decided to live here. We've been in this house for 2 years now.
That's great. Wow. So it's nice. So you already knew, like you had your sister there before you went. So it wasn't like a totally new place. Yeah. And how have you found like making friends and things like that? Is it, because I know there's a lot of expats in Bali, aren't there? So has it been quite easy?
Yeah. I think in a way I prefer Bali to Thailand for that aspect, because in Thailand I felt like everyone was coming and going, and I didn't really find a community for me there. I'm sure having been there for longer, you've probably established more of a community, and but in the short period I was there, it was a bit more difficult. In Bali, I'd say for the first year or so, I wasn't being social enough. I wasn't going out enough because I had my sister and her boyfriend to rely on, and I was, spending a lot of time with them. But this last year, especially the last couple months, because they've been away, they went back to England, and they went to Australia. It's been a lot more social, and I've been meeting a lot of people. There's a lot of digital nomad types of people in Bali. So there's people that are here for like 6 months or a year, or sometimes a couple of years. So
that's great. Wow. So how do you think, so living there, how do you think it's like influenced you as a person? So you said like you've kind of like built a community around you and things like that. So do you think like your day-to-day life has also changed? Would you say it's like the life you have now is different to what you had
compared to back in England?
Yeah,
Definitely. I think living in the Southeast Asian countries, and I wonder if it's similar for like South Asia and some of the other countries. It's like a very active lifestyle. Like you wake up in the morning, it's warm outside, you can go out, go for a walk, or jump on your scooter and drive to a local cafe, get your food. Everything's quite cheap as well, so it's like you can afford to do all these little things in your day. And compared to in the UK, I feel like it's a bit more boring, and there's not, like, Bali has loads of gyms, it has loads of cafes, it has the beach right nearby, so I'm always active. And I don't really have the time to stop and overthink things as much as I used to back in England.
That's great. Yeah. So I think the weather makes a big difference, doesn't it? Like waking up to sunshine, and just like you just feel happier when you wake up, and it's not like you don't have the cold winters and all that. So it definitely, makes a big difference to how I feel. I know that. Yeah. So now like you're there, and if we could just go back a bit to like whereabouts are you from in England?
I'm from Portsmouth.
Oh, okay, right. Yeah. And how would you say like your childhood was? Was it?
I think it was quite normal. I studied quite hard because I always wanted to be a dentist. Like my dad always used to tell me that would be a good paid job, and I always had this like dream as a kid of like, I don't know why I had this dream of having £100,000. That was like a dream I had when I was young. So I worked really hard at school, and I just scraped past to get into dental school. The childhood was pretty normal. Portsmouth is just like, I don't know how similar it is to Hertfordshire, but it's a normal kind of UK city. It's not as busy as London, but it has life to it. It can be. It was a little bit boring at times where I lived, because I lived just outside of Portsmouth, so I wasn't in the main city area.
Okay, yeah.
But yeah, I did work very hard, and then when I got to university, I decided to quit that path. That's probably. I went to dental school. I went for 3 years, but I quit dentistry after 3 years because I had other things that I wanted to explore, creative passions and different things. And I think that led to all the traveling and stuff, like a few years after that.
I see. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, like Hertfordshire is like, maybe like similar in the sense that it's not kind of like it's not a busy place. It's kind of more like the countryside, but just like half an hour from London. And it was really quiet growing up there. It was really like, not much happening, and just like a lot of green space, and like we went to the local school and things like that. But I think when I go back now, I like it more because it's I guess it's different from Thailand, so in so many ways. And just like, but it's just one thing you notice is the quiet. England is really quiet when you've lived away, isn't it? Like here, like you've got the food stalls, you've got like, people running about in the morning and doing like you said, more active. There's just a lot of energy here.
Yeah. I think you're right though. I think you can appreciate the UK when you've been away for a long time. You can appreciate some of the things that you maybe took for granted before, like the quietness.
Yeah.
You know, that used to be is a bit boring, but now it's like, oh, this is really peaceful.
but then you miss like being in Asia as well. I think after a while, I feel like, okay, I'm ready to go back. Yeah.
100%, yeah, I can't be in the UK for more than like a few months.
Yeah, exactly. Wow. So that sounds great. And what's your plan after this, Alistair? Would you like to go to a different country, or do you see yourself staying in Bali for some time?
Well, I like Bali as a base at the moment, but to be honest, a lot of the students that I speak to on Cambly from all different countries, it just kind of keeps me inspired about like wanting to try new places and just because I'm very happy and settled with Bali, but I do sometimes think to myself, is there something better? You know, is there a better country to settle down in? Is there something that's even, because Bali has pros and cons. I think it's an amazing place to live. I'm not a huge fan of some of like the healthcare systems and the way some of it is, but apart from that, it's good. But yeah, I speak to so many students from like China, from Japan, from Saudi Arabia, from Turkey. It makes me really curious to like try some of those countries while I'm out here, especially in Asia, China or Korea or Japan, and see if there's something there that I'd actually want to make more long term, or maybe just for a holiday. But that's one of the best things about speaking to so many international students. I'm sure you find that as well, like all these new perspectives, and it keeps you inspired to be like continue being a traveler and try new places.
That's really true. I think there's so much that we can learn from our students as well. And like so much that it makes you think like how big the world is really. And that, you know, like they've all got their own stories and they celebrate their own festivals and they have their traditions. And it's really like interesting, isn't it? And how do you fit Cambly in with your schedule? Do you try to like have sessions every day? Do you have like your regular students, or like how do you manage it? Yeah.
So I like, for a long time, I've always been like a big fan of the priority hours, where you know you do those, like you can book in like a bunch of priority hours, and then you just lock in and you speak to lots of new people, and you get an influx of new people, and then you meet some students who become regulars through that, and then some you see them once, and then you see them again maybe a couple months later. But I really do want to have more regular students. I think that's been a big issue for me, is that Cambly's been very active on the weekends because of the way I've been doing it with the priority hours. But during the week, I don't have enough bookings where I can speak to some of my more regular students. It's probably a bit because I mix my Cambly work on the weekends, and then I do some other work in the week. But I enjoy Cambly, and I would love to have more hours per week teaching, rather than doing just like 20 or so hours on the weekend. I'd like to have like 5 hours every day if possible. But yeah, I think I'm looking at shifting that, and hopefully some of my regular students and the new students getting to a proper schedule where I have like Monday to Sunday. I think it will be unstable for me that way.
So in terms of, I just wondered about food, Alistair, like what is like typical Balinese food for someone that hasn't been before?
I'm going to be such a hypocrite talking about this, because Bali has such international options, and a lot of the time I'm trying like all different country stuff, but they do have some really good dishes. There's nasi goreng and mie goreng, which are like the most stereotypical dishes from Indonesia and Bali. And that's basically it's quite a simple dish. It's either rice or noodles. Nasi is rice, mie is noodles, and then it's with usually with chicken or some kind of meat. So it's like it's a bunch. It's like a mixture of vegetables, noodles, or rice and chicken, and it's kind of like fried rice, but in a slightly different style to how they do it in Thailand, to be honest. And it's very good, very simple, very good.
Yeah.
But the best dish that I've had in Indonesia, which I think is amazing, is called beef rendang. And it was a friend of mine. She's the girlfriend of the guy I used to work with in Bali, and she's Indonesian. She's from an island, another island. She's from Sumatra.
Okay.
And this is a famous dish from Sumatra, and it's like this very tender beef. You get it with this rice, and there's a lot of oil. And what you have to do is you have to take a bit of the beef, a bit of the rice, you dip it in oil, and you're meant to eat it with your hands like this. So you hold it up and you flick it into your mouth. She showed me this whole technique for it, but that is amazing. Like beef rendang is incredible. So if anyone's in Bali, try to find a good spot for that.
Yes. Oh, that's amazing. So are there they're like in Thailand, you have the food stalls, the food courts. Is it similar to that in the sense where would you buy this food, or would you get it in a restaurant?
It's different. It's a lot of these. There's these things in Bali called warongs, and the way the warongs work is they're almost like it's not a buffet because you don't pay a set amount, but it's like a selection of lots of different things. So you can have like your rendang, different rices, different vegetables. There'll be like eggs. There'll be like different types of chicken. And you go around and you say, a bit of this, please, a bit of that, a bit of that. And they just put it all on your plate. And then at the end, they give you the final price based on all the things you chose. It's usually very cheap. Usually can be somewhere between $2 and $5 for like a big plate.
That's amazing, yeah.
So it's slightly different to the kind of, there are some street stalls, but they're a bit more specific versus in Thailand. I know you can go to just a street market and there's loads of stuff. I'm sure you can do that in Bali, but the warongs are more of a thing than the street markets.
I see. Yeah. I actually went to Bali when I was about 18. So I don't have many years ago. So I don't really have really kind of strong memories of it. So my sister and her husband were working in Jakarta. So we went to Jakarta first to see them. And then from there we got it's like 45 minutes, I think, to Bali from Indonesia. Yeah. So my memories are quite vague, but I remember there's like a lot of temples and we went to a puppet show and we tried the local food, and we went to these hot springs as well. I don't know where that was now. Yeah, which is really nice. It was all like outdoors, and yeah, I remember the people being like in Thailand, really warm and friendly and helpful wherever we went.
They're lovely people, it must have been so different back then. I mean, I don't know how long ago that was, but
yeah, that was about 30 years ago. Oh yeah.
Changed so much in the last 5 years, let alone 10, 20 odd years. It must have been a completely different place. I'm really curious how it would.
Yeah, exactly. It was probably less crowded at that time because it wasn't as touristy, I think, as it is now.
Yeah.
Even though it was popular, it wasn't there weren't many kind of people. Now it's a popular place to live, isn't it? Whereas before people would visit and just kind of stay for some time and go home. Yeah.
Makes sense.
So that's amazing. Wow. So we just have a few minutes. So do you celebrate the new year? Are you planning to go out for the new year?
Weirdly enough, this year I might not. I usually do, but me and my friend in the UK, we only speak to each other every few months. We've made a bit of a random pact that we were gonna. He wants to start a new business, and I want to talk about some new ideas of some things I want to do in my life. So we've said, let's sacrifice our New Year's Eve and let's jump on a call and, as friends, brainstorm these things together. And then maybe because we sacrifice our New Year's, that FOMO will, that fear of missing out will turn into something good. So I'm not too happy about this decision, but I think it'll be nice to catch up with him and talk about some goals going into 2026.
Yeah. Well, that sounds great. Well, so you're thinking about doing business with him, is that right?
I think at the moment it's more he wants to do some business things and I want to give him some you know, some ideas and perspectives on that. And then I have some creative projects I want to do on the side that he'll probably give me some. So it's separate, but maybe at some point we'll come together and do something together.
That's great. Yeah. Do you feel like with your friends in the UK, like have you managed to keep in touch with most of them, or do you feel like because your lives are quite different now, have some of them drifted apart?
No, I haven't. I haven't let anyone that I'm really close with drift apart. I've made a big effort to stay in touch, do video calls where possible. There's a natural like drifting of like not being with each other in person, and like I'm sure it's going to be a bit awkward when we're next to each other again to like get back into a rhythm again. But it doesn't feel like I haven't seen them in a long time because we're always texting, we're always
That's the thing, yeah. With like the really old friends, I just feel you can pick up, can't you, where you left off. So what's your plan for today, Alistair? What are you planning to do? What time is it now? Is it? It's 4:30 here.
It's 5:30 here.
Okay.
I think I might meet up with a friend. He's a Indonesian guy who I met playing football. There's a lot of football in Bali, and I keep bumping into him when I'm on a morning walk. So I've said to him like, let's get a tea or coffee or something. So I'll do that. Just having a bit of a relaxing day, to be honest. I had a heavy weekend, so
yeah. Oh, that's great. Do you have the beach nearby, like near your house?
It's not bad. It's like a 10-minute drive or so. So
That's really good. Oh, that sounds amazing. So thank you so much, Alistair. It's been so nice to talk to you. Thank you.
It's really nice to meet you.
Thank you. You too, and have a great day.